Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jersey and we are continuing our base in creative mode where we are trying the builds before we take them into our survival base. And today we are going to be building the tower, the lookout tower, the tower that's going to connect to all the towers across this map, especially when zip lines are out. I can't wait for that. But yes, we are working on this lookout tower because I want to see the park in all glory from the top. And guys, the view is spectacular. Now, a couple things. Don't forget that you can slow down the video to follow this build. Also, don't forget, if you want to see how the build looks, just go all the way to the last, kind of like the last 10 minutes of the video, and you can see the whole build completed and everything and watch the walkthrough. Okay, so one of the things that we're gonna do is work on this tower. So my idea always been to connect it to this bridge that's also gonna be connected to this home. Now the great thing about the tower, even though I'm designing it to be part of my layout, this tower you can put it anywhere in any base. So one of the things that we're gonna do is work first on the front, so we make the door right, so we can get the right angle, so we can kind of center it to the bridge. And then what I'm doing, since this game is really great and you don't need like all this foundation to put all the pieces in the air, I'm working right on the air and going around. So basically it's 2 pieces on the front and then 2 angle and then 2 straight on the side and then 2 angle again and 2 and 2 and 2. And then you just continue to go all the way around until you make a nice circle. Now, one of the things that I really wanted to do is just make this tower stand out. Now, I know we got round pieces, but the round pieces was not gonna be able to do what I wanted it to do. And this is why we're still using the flat wall in here. Also, I wanted to make it look a little bit different than normal towers out there. So, and I wanted to make it a little bit grand, because even though this is a tower, look at tower, the inside part of it, you can make it whatever you wanted it to be. You can make it as a storage unit, you can make a room in here, you can enclose the stairs and do so much more. Now, I didn't do any of that extra stuff on the inside. I haven't decided if I would just want to keep it just as a tower or just of anything else, so not sure just yet. Now the other thing that I really wanted to do is kind of make it stand out, right, and not just make it all green or just make it all stem. Now that is my own way of thinking. If you want it to be all green or all with a stem, well, feel free to do it as well. But I do want it like everything that we're doing in this bay, I wanted to do a mix and match. So first of all, we're gonna do the first layer with stem, and then we're gonna do grass, and then we're gonna do a couple design patterns so it makes it look even better. Now the staircase system, I went with the spiral one right over here, and we're going right down the center. So the way I was able to align this, I aligned the stairs in between the door, because the door, it's not falling on the square, it's like right in the middle between 2 squares. And that's what I did with the stairs. And then from there, because I wanted to be able to walk in through the door, hit the stairs, and then we just go in a spiral. Now this is going to be very expensive, especially in survival, and I know that, and this is why we build it first in creative, and then we're going to be doing this in our survival base as well, and probably tweak it in the area, because again, it's going to be just in a slight different position, but we want to tweak it. But as you can see, it's going to be very expensive, so start collecting your resources, or if you have a creative base, then you can do and have fun over there too. Now again, this base, I want it to be tall and I want it to go really high, but you can definitely make it shorter, you can make it a little smaller, you don't have to make it as wide as I did. Now to get the design that I wanted, it definitely needed to go this wide, because the way the pieces are going to accommodate one another, especially because I'm going to put another one in the top, because we're going to have like a middle section, and then it's going to go all the way to the top, to the main part of the lookout. Okay, so as you can see over here, you can start seeing the pattern, right? We're doing the stem wall, and then we go back to green, and then stem wall, we go back to green. Now in the front of the middle here, you see when I'm working on these pieces over here, all that green in the middle, at first I left it almost to the end, so when you watch the walkthrough, you're gonna see that I changed the pattern right at the end of everything. I just decided, you know what, it's too much green, didn't care for it, and kind of just went with a different pattern in the front. But if you like it without green, feel free to do it. Okay, so we are halfway building the tower right now. So we made it to the first part, we got the staircase right over here. Now we're just gonna put foundation of the flooring right over here. So basically it's all gonna be square. Then we're gonna use the triangle flat parts just to fill up the rest, and then we're gonna have a whole flooring. Again, I'm going with the grass flooring just to create a beautiful accent here against the stairs and the stem that is right now on the edge. Now you can go all stem flooring as well, and that's something that you would like to do. I didn't like it too much. I did give it a try. It made it look different to that type of stem flooring, like up here. I don't know, didn't care for it, and I still went with the green, and I really like how the green looks right now. I just feel like it just is kind of the best flooring right now in the game, even though it's green and it's the cheapest, but I feel like it just looks so green. The green is really good. Okay, so now I'm working in the second little tower that's gonna go in here, right? So now it's gonna be, you're gonna do the front door right in the middle, but then it's gonna be one sideways and then two. We're gonna do two walls straight and then one sideways, two straight, one sideways, two straight. And that's kind of the way you're gonna be looking right here. Now, a couple things you can do here. At first, I thought I was gonna enclose it, but you know, I decided to do kind of like 4 openings. Now, I'm still thinking about this. I may just do 2 openings and then 2 windows on the side, but at the end of the video is still like this, just 4 openings. Now, one of the reasons I was thinking of this, because I may do maybe extensions of this tower, maybe do a bridge that extends outside of the base, kind of like do this clever kind of connection to the other side. And there's one side that where we're building, it looks like we got a little canyon, and I figured like we can extend that way. I think it's gonna look really cool. So we're gonna give it a try, and if we start building that, of course it's gonna come down to the video. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss it, just in case you want to add it into your base. All right, so now we're gonna work on the next section. So whatever height you decide to go, right from the bottom, if you decide to make it the same as I did, then you're gonna go the same height again on this one. Now you can play with this. You can go shorter, you can go even higher. It's gonna be up to you if you just want to make it to up to here and then build what I did on the top on just this section. But I wanted to feel like it goes 1 and then again. Now over here on the top, we are definitely changing a little bit of design. As you can see, we're using part of the defense wall as the framework on this part of the second part of the tower. I just wanted something different. That way the tower doesn't look identical all the way to the top. So you got the wider base in one style, and then you're gonna have the second half that is a little bit skinnier in a different style. And I kind of really like the way this pattern is looking. It's looking really well, and I really liking it. Now we're putting a little half step floor here over here. That way you can get off here, but then it gives us the opportunity to attach what we need right here, that is going to be the other stair that's going to continue to go up, because this is all going to be one spiral staircase from the floor all the way to the tallest part of the tower. Now to make this work over here, the half floor grass didn't work, so we're gonna do the triangle and then do triangle flooring right over here. That way we can go in and out, like kind of get out and kind of come back in. And this worked out really great for me. And the spacing, now I wish I had a little more spacing. I think to have the more spacing that I want, I will have to make the tower on the bottom even a little bit wider. And I don't know if I wanted to do that. It's just maybe in a future tower, maybe that's a little bit improvement. Maybe when we build the next base in another area and we're going to put one of these towers to connect it with zip lines in the future, maybe we'll make it a little bit wider. Maybe we'll work on this, so see how it works best. But for now, this is the way it's coming out. So we're going to continue to extend the same design that we started on the floor. On the bottom, we're doing kind of like those little defense wall as kind of those little pieces, and it's going to go all the way around. And then we're going to start adding windows here. One of the reasons to add windows is to also let a little bit of natural light coming in, and as you're going in the staircase, it gives you an opportunity to look out the window. Now, something that I can tell you now that's gonna change in the end on the final walkthrough, where I place that window, instead of putting it right there, if you want to save yourself some time, go ahead and put it in the one below. And then where I put the window right now, put the stem wall, because that's one of the changes that I did at the end. I felt like the window was too high and I had too much stem. I have like the door and then stem, and then the wall, and I prefer having the door, stem wall, window, and then stem wall. So if you want to do that change right now, then you can catch it right now. Now we're working on the border, so I went ahead and worked on the border. That way that those defense pieces doesn't feel jagged. So we went ahead with the half, not the half, the quarter stem wall, and we put it down so it just aligns perfectly. And now what we're gonna do is close out this top area right over here and make the flooring. Now this is gonna work out kind of the same way as we did the bottom one. Now again, you might have to work with some pieces, some of the triangles. You don't want to kind of hit the staircase, and that way when you're walking you don't kind of hit the wall. So you know, just work on it, just fill in the space the best way that you can, and just make it work out really nice. And as you can see over here, I keep doing the little triangle pieces, and then you see me gonna be testing the stairs, making sure that the character is just not gonna hit. Everything is working good, so I'm kind of keep working, and I want this circle with the pieces kind of to feel good. So I'm gonna put another piece right over here very soon, and we're gonna see how starts working and feeling and just enclosing the area where the staircase are at. And then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna put again more of the stem fence. That way it just feels a little more complete. Now one of the things is adding an extended porch out here. That way it feels like you can walk. And then one of the other things that we're gonna do on the bottom is just put that reinforcement stems that we can put on the bottom, and we're gonna put those underneath it so it feels like it just the tower and everything is connected in one piece. Again, these are details that technically you don't have to do. I like to do them because it just gives you that extra detail, and I'm only doing on the pieces that this can. Now I'm hoping one day they can give us a better axle that we can rotate things freely and not just clipping all the time. So I can do a couple other things with these pieces, but hey, that's what it works. But I put those pieces so it just feels like it's attached and it's holding the extension into the tower. Now this is we don't have like real beams. We do have beams, but you cannot align it specifically the way I want to. Yes, there's this little free form, but kind of they go down. It's really tricky. So right now I'm doing this. I'm hoping one day maybe they see us and then they're like, you know, let's give them beams that actually land in this circle. And that's what I would like. But right now we're doing this right over here, and what we're doing kind of a little framework in here just to give it a nice look, a nice little design, and kind of just frame this area. And it's going to be this very simple. You can do many things here. You can actually put a wall on the top if you want to. Over here you can put a frame of windows. You can make just another frame of grass. I went very simple. I went all with stems, so it feels like it's all connected and all one big piece. And then after this we're gonna start working on the roof. Now I went with like everything that we're doing in this base, besides the little stable that we created. I'm going over here again with the Clover roof. I just love this roof. I think it works great. Again, this is part of our simple base design, and we're doing the Clover roof right over here, and we're gonna do the flat one, and then we're gonna do the flat corner one, and there's gonna be this one and the one that's upside down the opposite way, and we're gonna fill this in. Then what you want to do is build a couple of staircase and then walk up and then go to the roof and then finish up the roof that way. So very simple, very easy, not a very complicated roof. And since we kind of made this very proportional and very good, we don't have anything half wall or anything like that. Everything is actually falling into place a lot easier and a lot better. And as you can see, we got the first run around of Now this also section, I made it 3 high because I like the space, and I want to be able, like when I walk in, I don't have a frame, but you can make this 2 lower if you want to. And just make it a little bit smaller, and then you work with the different pieces to make it work as you're closing off the roof. But as you can see here, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the pieces over here, doing a little more of the flat roof on the side, and then on the very top we're going to do the corner one. It's going to give it a little rounder shape right over here. Now if you're not a fan, this one took me a little moment because it's like the top is a little more round and then it goes to flat. You can change that, just work on different pieces, but this is what the tower is already looking at. I really like the way it's feeling, and it just feels really great, and I love it. Especially the view up here is just absolutely stunning. Now what I'm doing over here, I'm just gonna put another little piece of more of the little fencing, the little stem half wall, just to kind of give it a thicker border all the way around in the top, because we do have a little bit extra space. So I went ahead and did that. Now again, you can do a wall up there if you wanted to, because we did kind of did a wall, but I like one of the reasons that I like the stem is because light can go through it. It just gives it this really nice, and again, it matches the bottom. Now in the bottom, I want to keep it with just the one because it feels more like a railing and it just gives it a new feel. Now over here, we're wrapping around the staircase. That way it just feels different. I didn't like the look of this. I didn't like the look of that. I really liked it once I enclosed it, but this may not be a look that you like. So feel free to improvise, do whatever you need to make it work. Now on the first half of the tower, we're going back down. Again, we're gonna put the half stem wall right over here, and kind of works like a railing, and I wanted to match what we did on the top, so we're gonna match it right here on the bottom. And look at this, it just looks really, really cool. Now over here, this is what kind of want to do an extension, that right there, because you can kind of see across it. I think it's gonna be really cool. But as you can see, we got the tower, and guys, this is the changes that I did in the front right over here. Now you can see the bottom part I did change, and once we get closer, we're going to look at this. But look at this tower that we just created here in grounded. I really like the feel. I really like the style. There are a couple details that I still feel like I can do a little better and work with some things, some parts, maybe change some things, but maybe I'll do that on the next tower that we will create when we start the next base in another location with different materials. And I'm very excited about that. But one of the things I really like is when you take the bridge over here. Now the idea of this tower, it is connected to the bridge, and that tower is also going to connect to the main home that we got towards the left right there, that we did on the previous video, and that is going to be connected right there, and it's going to be like this big piece unit. And again, the whole base is going to be connected. I love the view from down here. I just love the feel, the way it looks, and then using the pebble foundation right over here just to make it feel a little more solid, a little more elevated. I can't wait to see how many new pieces they're gonna give us. I hope that they come up with really more clever idea for more builder pieces, because I can't wait to have more of the new pieces. Now this is the inside of the tower. So as you can see, we got a whole staircase going all the way to the top. But if you look at the inside here, there is so much space. You can literally use also this tower as a storage unit, and you can make shelving all the way across over here, put ladders, put just different things that you need to, and make it a beautiful storage area as well. You can make this at home if you wanted to as well. I mean, the options are very open because it is such a big space. So, you know, whatever your imagination takes you, let me know. Let me know in the comments why you decided to use it. But as you go to the spiral of the staircase, we get to the top, and look at this. I like this. I do wish I had a little more space, so it feels a little more, but this is only halfway up, and look how the base, and look how the world looks. And that was just a little bit. We're only halfway, but once we get to the top, that's when we get the real view, and it's just stunning. Now over here, this is the little piece of the cannon, like runway. I kind of feel like I want to do an extension and then land over there. I think it'd be a really cool way to also go in and out of the base. So it's in the mind. Maybe we'll work on it soon. So yeah, I'm excited for that too. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to walk all the way to the very top so you can see the beautiful view. And I've been dying to actually do this for a while, because we get to experience the world from below and it looks so different. But when you actually take it in, it's only a few times where we get up high, like the trash can and stuff like that, the picnic table, you get to see. But now we get to see it from the point of view of your base, and you realize how little we are, but also how big the world is, and how things look so different from the angle that we are. I really love the way the roof came out, and I love the Clover pieces. It's so good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just walk over here and look at the board. Look at the ice cream place over there. There's the trash can right over there, and there's the pines over there. It's just really different looking at it. Look at the hedges over there and the statue. It takes for, I don't know, it's just, it really, the way they do this game and they create the illusion of how far things are, but when you're so high, everything looks so close. It is amazing. It truly is amazing. Like the picnic table feel like it's right next door, but when you have to walk it, it's so far away. But guys, here is gonna be one of the air views of this build, and I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you like the detail. I hope that you like the shape, the take on it, the idea of it. And when we're gonna start connecting all of this to different bases in the future and create towers throughout the map that's going to be connected to zip lines, and those areas on the top as they connected to zip line, you can have a bedding, you can have cooking areas, you can have a little storage, right, for food or equipment or stuff like that. So as you zip lining through the park, when you get to the towers, you got things to have, you know, and that's a great thing, and that's something that I really wanted to add to the tower. And the tower really makes the rest of my base really small. It just became one of those structures that are very spectacular, very big in size, but I think it looks good, you know, and it's hope that inspires many of you to give it a try in creative. And then if you're in survival, I'm gonna have to build this now in the survival, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of grind to get all the materials, but at the end it's gonna be worth it. And I hope that all of you enjoy it, and look at the look at the park. Look at the park. I can't wait for the next update. If you saw Axel, I mean, let me know what you think. Axel, come on, that it looks so good. Figuring out how we're gonna fight it, and I can't wait for my team in survival to start working together to make this project a reality over there as well. But guys, I do want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the feedback. Thank you so much for all the support. I truly hope that you continue to enjoy all our grounded builds. And if you haven't subscribed, then don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more videos. And I'll see you all on the next one. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.